Now, there's been a kind of TV spotlight and shine on the Ukrainian presidential elections. This is Zelensky. Now, you might recognize him because he's actually a former TV star who took part in a TV series about a teacher who unexpectedly became president. Well, that fiction might become a reality because the actor Zelensky is now leading the presidential race in Ukraine to become president. He issued this video on social media yesterday. You can see it's kind of full of glamour. It's set in the Olympic Stadium, saying to the current president of Ukraine, I want to take you on, challenge you to a live television debate in the Olympic Stadium. And the pressure really was ramped up because then on Facebook, he said, you've got 24 hours to get back to me. And this timeline, this counter started appearing all over social media. They were posting saying, we need to hear from you. Get back to us. Are you accepting or not? Well, this morning, the gauntlet that was thrown down has been accepted. In what hasn't happened in Ukraine before, it's a very different gear change for their politics. This is the current president of Ukraine who says, OK, in a slightly calmer, more sedate video than we just saw of Zelensky, he says, I accept. Now, we've had this translated. He basically says, you haven't quite understood the rules of election TV debates. We don't traditionally do it in a stadium, but you asked for it. If you want it in a stadium, that's where it will take place. Now, here in theCUBE, we've been speaking to a reporter who has interviewed Zelensky before, an American reporter, Simon Otrovsky, who has had support from the Pulitzer Center in some of his reporting. He'd interviewed Zelensky before and said he has that kind of Bill Clinton effect. You know, people are really charmed by him, they liked him. But I asked him earlier, when people in Ukraine are voting for Zelensky, what actually are they voting for?
The thing is that he's never been in the political arena before, and he's been very coy about his political views so far, preferring to have voters project onto him their desires rather than actually him telling them what he thinks. He's run on a broadly anti-corruption campaign, an anti-incumbent President Poroshenko campaign. He's told us what he's against, but he so far hasn't told Ukrainian voters exactly what he stands for, and to a lot of people, that's very concerning.
So he's fostered all this support, but what actually are his policies? That's something we're trying to examine here in theCUBE. The elections in Ukraine take place on the 21st of April, so there's not that much time to iron out what Zelensky actually stands for.
Rosie,